The mandate of an assassin is rarely a dance of shadow-cloaked elegance. It is a meticulously calibrated, high-pressure exercise in socio-political surgery. And in the Barbarian King's Assassin, the razor-sharp, atmospheric, and lethally paced inaugural movement of Eve Langlais' Magic and Kings saga, the concept of a royal bodyguard romance is re-engineered into a high-stakes, arcane industrial survival thriller. Langlais, the master architect of this steel-gilded, conspiracy-riddled, and spellbinding odyssey, delivers a visceral, deeply intense, and humor-laced masterpiece that treats the act of regicide prevention not as a romantic entanglement, but as a perilous, reality-anchoring necessity. This isn't a story of whimsical, candlelit wooing. It is a rapid-fire, deeply intense plunge into the logistical nightmare of maintaining a foothold in a palace where the very architecture has a predatory agenda, the perilous collision between a desperate assassin's search for leverage and the absolute, unchecked malice of an ancient, lineage-bound entity that views mortal ambition as a contaminant to its ecosystem, and the terrifying truth that when you protect the Barbarian King, you don't just guard a crown, you synthesize a reality-stabilizing buffer against the encroaching, sanity-eroding void. Langlais hooks the audience instantly by constructing a high-stakes, hyper-focused trap. A talented, disenfranchised killer, forced to defend their client's secrets against a series of supernatural invasions, finds themselves bound to a legacy that requires the systematic, tactical manipulation of nature's own unrefined power to survive. The narrative center zeroes in on the protagonist's methodical, high-pressure descent into the blade stitching, a state of hyper-rational, magic-infused perception that forces them to parse the fundamental reality-rewriting intent of their assassin-aligned magic. As they traverse the oppressive, armor-cluttered corridors of the fortress and the dangerously shifting, memory-saturated archives of the kingdom's borderlands, they realize that their protection is not merely a service provision. It is a systemic catalyst that is drawing the attention of the Shadow Wardens, entities that hunt those who dare to master the history that consumes reality. The investigation into the sudden, coordinated disappearance of the kingdom's most valuable magically charged artifacts quickly escalates into a dangerous, high-stakes tactical chess match as they discover that the entire royal structure has been covertly funded by the very darkness they are working to keep at bay. Forced to juggle the logistical nightmare of managing a rapidly decaying reality-bending research project, the constant suffocating threat of archival erasure, and the mounting undeniable encounter with the cost of their own burgeoning power, they must synthesize a new way of existing, one built on tactical linguistics, radical improvised spellweaving, and an unyielding, purely human refusal to let their truth be redacted by the palace's relentless, physics-enforcing machinery. Langlais' writing style is unapologetically rhythmic, machine gun fast, and saturated with an intense, authentic blend of assassin arcane jargon, sharp, cynical intellectual wit, and high-stakes environmental dread. She builds exceptional structural tension by pairing the mundane, aching routines of survival, cross-referencing tactical blueprints, deciphering forbidden throne-aligned texts, and enduring the quiet, crushing weight of constant vigilant isolation with the chaotic, nightmare-filled assaults of the fortress's truth-guarding spirits. The story moves forward with a relentless, momentum-driven energy, turning routine analytical probes, calculated maneuvers through the palace's secret steel basements, and tense, high-stakes standoffs with lethal, logic-warping figures into pulse-pounding steps closer to an inevitable, reality-defining confrontation. The presentation thrives on this sharp, analytical focus, making every discovered anomaly, every executed reality stabilization command, and every deep-seated fear confronted feel like a high-stakes victory for the human spirit. What makes the Barbarian King's Assassin an exceptional entry in the modern dark romantasy canon is Langlais' unparalleled ability to develop a highly compelling, logic-driven killer whose cognitive discipline is treated as a supreme navigational asset rather than a tragic, fading memory. Watch as they transform their experience with obscure, blade-bound data into a compass, learning to navigate the chaotic heavens to outmaneuver a power that operates with absolute, terrifying precision. As the structural walls of their reality begin to collapse and the true scope of the king's danger is exposed, the pacing transforms into a breathless, heart-pounding race to maintain the shred of truth they carry before their consciousness is permanently unstitched by the fortress's relentless, physics-enforcing machinery. The final act is an absolute masterclass in suspense, delivering a barrage of explosive realizations, shattered paradigms, and a spectacular, jaw-dropping climax that completely leaves the reader thoroughly stunned. For fans of thrillers demanding a brilliant, character-driven, and masterfully paced exploration of physics and palace imperialism, this book delivers an unforgettable